Well, I guess in the MTC, so I live in Orem, so going to Provo, I was like, this is no big deal. And I wasn't homesick or anything. I just kind of felt like everyone at the MTC said, don't compare this to EFY because it's not EFY. But to me, it really felt like 2 weeks of just like spending time with other good friends and learning about the gospel. And obviously it was really hard and we were tired and we would fall asleep a lot. It was so fun because you really the people in your district at the MTC become your best friends, the elders and sisters. You just feel like you knew them before and you're all excited because all of you are about to embark on this journey, and you're all really nervous, and then you're all like, I'm just ready to be there. And so arriving in West Virginia, well, we hop on the bus to go to the airport, and we drove past my neighborhood, and I was like, oh, now I'm really going, like, I'm really gone. I'm not going to see that for a while. And so that was kind of fun, and the airplane was fun. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, all that good stuff. And so arriving in West Virginia, we took a connecting flight to Georgia and then to West Virginia. And as we got in the plane in Georgia to go to West Virginia, it was this tiny, tiny little plane that looked like we might die because it was so small and old, and the pilot was probably in his 90s. And we were all like, oh my gosh, we're going to die. And it was shaky and kind of windy, and it was the middle of summer, and so it was pretty warm. But I remember it was like an hour flight from Georgia or something. And as the pilot was like, all right, we're about to land, or whatever he says. And we all look out the windows and we see nothing but these green, like, balls of trees. We thought, there's no airport. We're going to fall right into the woods. And we're getting closer and closer to the ground. And we all think that we're just crashing and dying. And all of a sudden, this airport comes out of nowhere. Then it's tiny, the smallest airport I've ever seen. Just the one runway, and really it's like you look like you're gonna dive right into the trees, and sorry, I'm moving too much. And then you jump right on there, and it's just covered in green, and you think you're in the Amazon or something because there's so many leaves and flowers and grass, and there's mountains, but they're obviously not as high as in Utah, but I think sometimes they can be more beautiful. And so arriving at the mission field was kind of fun. Our mission president, he had just gotten there 2 weeks prior. And so it was kind of fun to just learn with him the ropes of the mission. But it was pretty terrifying to be, all of a sudden engulfed around all these missionaries who've been serving the Lord for so long, and we're just these little babies. And but we were really tired, and we were getting the orientation of the mission and showing PowerPoints of the different areas, and all of us were bobbing our heads and falling asleep. And something cool, our mission president gave us all our own book of I think I have it with me. I'll show it. Get some show and tell here. And so we first got on the mission. We all got these cool Book of Mormons with our names on them. And so that was a really good, oh, I do belong here. This is something that is really awesome. And he encouraged us to do certain things with it in our studies. And so, yeah, entering, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness, but really fun. We got a call to our areas. They did this, big thing, and who your companion was. And my trainer wasn't there. She was in our area because it was a 7-hour drive. It was the farthest southeast part of the mission. And we took the transfer train, is what it's called. I thought it was a real train, but it's a bus. Just one of those 12-passenger vans. And you ride down with a bunch of other missionaries, and they hop off in their areas, and the different missionaries come on, and it's all pretty organized. And the whole way down, people ask, oh, who's your trainer? Oh, Sister Christensen. Oh, man, you've got the best trainer in the world. Where are you going? And I'd say, Lynchburg 3rd Ward. And they would all go, oh. And I was, what is that supposed to mean? And, oh, this will be great. You'll be fine. And so a couple more missionaries did that. And I finally leaned over to her sister, and I was like, what's so bad about Lynchburg 3rd Ward? And she just kind of laughed, and she's like, well, do you remember in the presentation they showed a different couple areas about Liberty University? And I'm like, yeah, that's the Baptist BYU, right? She's like, yeah, that's Lynchburg. I was like, no! Because in the PowerPoint, I had seen that area, and I thought that'd be so hard to be surrounded. I mean, it'd be like being a missionary of a different church in BYU, on campus. And so I was mortified, and everyone started telling these horrible stories of how mean people were and how hard of an area it was, and people don't baptize in that area, or it's hard to find investigators because no one wants to talk to you. And so it's pretty discouraging. I would encourage every missionary to not do that to anyone. I was grateful I had a good trainer, and she was like, no way, this is awesome. This is the best area you'll ever be in. And so she really helped me to gain more confidence, and we had a good time. It was tough. There were a lot of people who didn't particularly care for the missionaries or the Mormon church. But I definitely learned a lot. I learned how to love people. I thought I loved people before. But this first area helped me to really love people even when they would not be very kind to you. So